Well, hello, friend, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, we are going to keep working towards building a life that you are bonkers about by starting and growing a life first myofunctional therapy business. This is my zone of genius, it's my superpower. We are going to get into it. So, I have to ask you if you have ever thought, I'm trained, I've done the work, I invested the money. I put myofunctional therapists in my email signature. Why are clients not booking? Okay. Why are they not showing up? That's what we're going to be talking about because I am seeing this all the time. And if I'm completely honest, I have done this myself from time to time. So there was a season in my business when I realized that I wasn't showing up. I was indulging in a quiet form of entitlement. I had the training, I had the credentials, but somewhere deep down, I just felt like people should show up. Okay. Results don't follow credentials, results don't follow that you are done with your training. They follow visibility, they follow positioning, they follow consistency. So I remember, oh gosh, I bet it had to be 7, 8 years ago. I would say my first business trainer told me that I needed to show up consistently, even when my audience was very small. And you might be here saying, well, I don't have an audience or my audience is very small. She told me that I needed to show up and be consistent even when nobody was watching. And so my internal reaction was like, okay, well, it makes me feel a little bit nervous, but I did it. I committed at that time at her insistence, I committed to doing a Facebook Live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. for a year. Not when I felt like it, not when people were showing up and engagement was high, every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. And that's when I understood something very critical. Demand for your services is built. Okay. It is not awarded to you just because you completed your training. So if you are asking yourself, why am I not getting myofunctional therapy clients after my training? We're going to break this down. So first, credentials do not create demand. Okay, yes, you are qualified. This does not automatically make you visible to people. Just because you have clinical competency, that is not the same as market awareness. And if people don't know about you, or if they don't know who you help, or they don't know why it matters, or why what you do is important, they cannot hire you, my friend. So training teaches you how to deliver the service, but it doesn't create a stream of people coming to look for your service. That's what marketing is for. That is what I help you with. I always tell people, like, it's not Field of Dreams. Just because you add myofunctional therapist to your email signature, or just because you put letters behind your name, you're not entitled to success just for doing that. Okay. You have to do marketing. You've got to position yourself. You have to be visible. You have to build relationships. So if you were just sitting thinking quietly that people are going to appear just because you're trained, that is indulging in entitlement. So I say that with love because I have done it. So many of you guys are indulging in that, okay? Second, if you do not know who you serve, you can't reach them. So when somebody says to me, I'm not getting any clients, you guessed it, one of the first questions I ask is, well, who are you talking to? Who is your who? I often get an answer like, well, anybody who needs myofunctional therapy or mouth breathers. Okay, you guys, that's not marketing. That's a job description. And if you don't have a clear picture of who your ideal client is, You don't know where to spend your time. You don't know what language resonates with them. You don't know what keeps them up at night. You don't know what they're Googling. You don't know their wants and their worries and what is it that they desire? What's the problem that they want solved? If you don't know that, your messaging is very vague, and vague messaging does not convert to clients. Specificity creates traction. Let me say that again for the kids in the back of the room. Specificity creates traction, okay? You want to be very specific. You guys are going to hear me harping on this time and time and time again. Now, the third thing is you must do work that is going to make you nervous. It's going to make you feel exposed before you're going to see those results, okay? So, posting twice is not consistency. Mentioning your services in passing to somebody is not relationship building. Not doing the work is not going to generate demand for your services. You can't complain. You've heard me say this before. You cannot complain about results that you don't have from work that you are not doing. So, what does this look like? It looks like showing up repeatedly, refining your messaging, knowing exactly who you're talking to, who's your who, what's your irresistible offer, what is the one very hyper-specific problem that you're going to solve for them. You want to build relationships. You want to talk about the same problem over and over again until people associate you with that solution. The same thing happens here in my business. Look at all of these podcasts that I have recorded. These podcasts are all about starting, growing, simplifying, getting customers, all of the unsexy, boring business basics that everybody wants to overlook. I'm not talking to you on this podcast about what to do once you have a $350,000 a year business, because that's not who this audience is for. I'm talking to you beginners, and I'm talking about the same problem over and over and over again, because I want you guys to associate my name, my brand with the solution to your problem. And that's what you're going to do in your own practice. Yes, it can be uncomfortable. Yes, it can feel like nobody's paying attention, but consistency compounds, okay? It's just like the power of compound interest. If you're not getting clients after you've done your training, it's not because you're not capable. But you don't need another class. I meet so many of you guys who, do not take this wrong. I know that the learning it's addicting, because when I started, I was going to all these classes. But what I tell my students a lot of the time, if you only have 3 hours a week to work on your business, please, for the love of all things holy, don't spend those 3 hours attending yet another seminar or webinar about the airway, because you're not even utilizing the knowledge that you already have. So use your time wisely when it comes to that. Oftentimes you're procrastinating. You don't want to do the uncomfortable thing. So you're going to just take another class. You're going to take another CE. But friend, you have to build demand in your business. And that requires that you do a few things. You need clear positioning. You need to be visible. A lot of you guys don't want to be visible. And I'm not quite sure how you're going to build the business with, you just want to hide in the shadows. You have to be consistently out there talking to people, telling them that you can help them. Your training gave you the clinical pearls that you needed, but if nobody's paying you, you don't have a business. Okay, you just have education, and there is a difference. So if you're still listening to this, I'm assuming that you want a business. You don't want to just have myofunctional therapy education. So I want you to, here's your homework, audit your last 30 days, okay? Have you been consistently visible? Have you clearly communicated who you serve? Are you building those relationships intentionally with your person, with your audience? You have to build that know, like, and trust factor, and that takes time. You don't post once and just have people saying, hey, can I give you money? that's where you start. Okay? You're going to hear this time and time again. That is like, I want you to move out of just indulging in preparing or perfecting, perfectionism and procrastination. You gotta get consistent and get out there. Okay. So that's what you need to do. If you want help with this, I can totally help you with that. Coaching, get into a coaching program. Yes, you need a business coach. People ask me this all the time. Is it necessary? Is it necessary? And I say, yes. If you want results, if you want to earn more money or have more freedom or get all of this stuff set up in your business, so that you can actually earn money and have a business, not an expensive hobby, then yeah, you very often need a business coach because you need certain CEO skills that most likely did not come with your clinical training. So if that's you, the first thing is to book your unstuck call so we can work specifically on getting you unstuck on one thing. We will talk about coaching. Typically, I will lay out like, hey, here's what I would do with you in the next 6 months. We work on things like time management, finance, systems, communication, marketing, selling, all of those things. All of those things that I know are not part of your clinical training. So, the last thing I want to leave you with is, my friend, if you do not grow as a business owner, personally, like in personal development type of skills, your business doesn't grow either. So, book your call if you need to. If not, if you were just being awesome, then continue being awesome and make sure you're being consistent. So that is it, my friend. That's all I have for you today. Go build a life that you are bonkers about. I will be back soon where we will talk more about starting, growing, and simplifying your myofunctional therapy business.